back, and today we're doing a layout updates. So we'll start with here. So in this yard, which is now called Pitcairn, we are expanding, as you can see. We're going to have 8 tracks. I have this fancy stick of power, and it shows us the spacing. So we'll have 2 more tracks out here. This is the main line because the same track as that, so it's the main line. And then arrival and departure track. And then the rest of this is yard track. It's kind of quite the yard. Oh, and then we organized train running, as I call it. It's nice to know if people are coming, so we just put in a couple lights over yonder, on the other side of that hole, so you can just tell people to stop when you're on the main line. I'm not sure, it's more of just a random thing I wanted to do than something we needed, but I will go show you that now. Here it is, and if you just go, if you can see, straight through there's another wall. You go through that wall, you're in the yard. This isn't a realistic signal. It's just, if light on, don't go through. That's as bad as realistic as this is. Oh, in Newark, you could say it had some big changes from last time. I don't think this was painted brown. There's buildings, I thought that's glued. There's track, there's power, there's glued track, functioning switches. I don't think all of this is going to be it's not all going to be powered switches, because there's a lot of switches that are going to be in here. They don't need to be powered. It'll just we'll just put little knobs. I talked about that on my last layout update, so we can skip that. Change the name of this yard. This is not important at all, but I refuse to not call it Altoona Yard, even though we've changed it and it's not really big enough to be an Altoona Yard, especially for what we're using it for. But I refuse to use the new name. I just thought y'all needed to know that. Over here is more green, as you can see, and we were going to ballast all of this with this stuff, but we didn't realize we basically had none of it, so we can't do that for a little bit. But we will eventually have all of this, it would just look like that straight to this edge. We thought about putting grass there, but we didn't think it would look right. It's not very realistic to have grass that close to the track in a yard. If they didn't do that back then, or now. I don't think they do it. So we're gonna ballast all of that, and I'm assuming most of this gray stuff is going to be ballasted black, but we're gonna start with just this strip down to these switches. Yeah. So in the staging yard, there's nothing really too much other than we wired this track with these 2 engines are on, and all of these switches are controllable, and we got that 3-way switch up there too, so you can set a route basically. So you don't have to flip switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, however way. You select your route that you use, so you would just press one button basically, and all the switches would line up, so you don't have to do any of that, which is nice, and will make coming in and out of here a lot easier and faster and less likely for people to derail. So that will be nice to be able to do that. These new fancy switches, the box is very fancy. I mean, the whole package. They're I don't know what to call them. And they have a real name, but I'm not gonna call them their real name. That would make a little bit way too much sense. They're half the size of a tortoise, miniature tortoise. I should have opened one of these before I started filming. So as you can see, it is smaller than a normal tortoise, and it's got extra, like, so you can, like a normal tortoise or snail, you just screw it up like that. But this one also has the little holes on the side, so you can put it like that. So that's interesting. So yeah, I don't have any new engines here, but we have ordered some. We've got a Rapido E8 coming in, and I don't remember which engine, but we bought an engine from Bowser, so expect to see on a review on that Bowser engine in 2 to 3 years. The Rapido engine, you know, expect that part 3 of the E8 versus E8. But that's about it for our engines. We don't have any new ones. We didn't sell any either. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, somewhat at least.